What is up, Light Fam? Welcome to another video. My name is David, your spiritual awakening coach, here to help you through your spiritual awakening. Now, continuing with my Ascension Symptoms series, there is an Ascension symptom that I see happening quite a bit that does need to be addressed, and that is spiritual fatigue. This is also known as Ascension burnout. So, Ascension fatigue is pretty common. It is something that you will most likely experience on your spiritual journey. So when I use that term spiritual fatigue, does that resonate with what you're experiencing right now? Does the term ascension burnout describe where you are on your spiritual journey today, Light Fam? Well, have no fear. We've got you covered. We're going to discuss all things spiritual fatigue as well as the cure for spiritual fatigue. Right now, let's go. The ascension symptom of spiritual fatigue can feel like a crippling and almost debilitating state during the ascension process because you feel stuck at your current spiritual awakening stage and you feel uninspired or even discouraged to get yourself out of it. And I knew that this was a topic that I needed to touch on because I'll notice under a lot of my ascension symptoms videos, the comments, I see a lot of people that kind of start to beat up on themselves a little bit because they feel they're not far enough along on their spiritual journey, or the exact opposite. I did a video called Spiritual Awakening Stages, which you can go watch right here. And under that video, there was a lot of this energy with this sense of accomplishment of whizzing through all of the stages, making it to the final stage, reaching full enlightenment, and now they can levitate. I don't know. But that type of energy is all ego. The ego is very competitive as well as impatient. So when you operate through the ego, you miss the understanding of the growth, the lessons, and the messages of that specific spiritual awakening stage because the ego just wants to bypass that uncomfortable state as quickly as possible. Your ego wants to bypass that uncomfortable stage in your spiritual awakening as fast as possible. But yet it also wants the t-shirt that says, hey, I did it. The ascension process is not an easy process, so it's completely normal to want to bypass being uncomfortable. But being uncomfortable is a very normal part of the growth process. So normalizing being uncomfortable during the ascension process is a great way to cure spiritual fatigue. And if we really break down that term, spiritual fatigue, is it really possible for spirit to be tired? No, fatigue is a symptom of the physical body, which means it must be coming from ego. It's your ego that's fatigued because it's in a rush to get out of what is uncomfortable. Oftentimes after a spiritual awakening, we are so excited about this newfound knowledge and personal power that we dive headfirst into the work aspect of spirituality. So we go full throttle into examining our beliefs, our place in the universe, discovering all of the powers and abilities that we were never taught that we have, or were taught that they're bad to use. We do a lot of shadow work and healing. And this thirst for spiritual knowledge and self-discovery is actually a very good thing. It's actually the whole point behind why you decided to incarnate in the first place. But you'll know that you've reached a place of spiritual fatigue when you feel spiritual stagnation, like you're frustrated that you're not moving forward, which is an especially common feeling amongst all of my perfectionists out there. And this kind of throws you into this state of uncentered, anxious energy, like a spiritual anxiety. So what have we said in previous videos about anxiety? Well, your mind is off in some future scenario. You're not centered in the present moment. So guess what? It's time to get mindful, Light Fam. Centering yourself in the present now moment in a state of mindfulness is one of the best cures for spiritual fatigue. And a great technique for centering yourself in the present is through gratitude. So you can simply list 5 things for which you're grateful. And then I want you to put the term right now before each statement. So for example, right now, I am loved and protected. Right now, I am happy, healthy, and whole. Right now, All my needs are met in abundance. And this state of gratitude puts you in a state of receptivity and allowing, which is a flow state of movement, not stagnation. So if you're feeling ascension, burnout, or spiritual fatigue, center yourself in the present moment through gratitude so that you can enter into a state of inspired movement instead of frustrated stagnation. Spiritual fatigue happens when you push yourself too hard in doing the inner work and the healing to the point to where you actually regress a bit. And you can even forget some of those spiritual lessons that were so hard fought to understand, which could even cause you to fall back into those old behavioral patterns of that old identity. That's when you know it's time to take a break and rest. So spiritual rest is a huge part of spiritual growth, just the same as physical rest is a huge part of physical health and mental health for that matter. So kind of think of it like the spiritual gym. If you're overtraining, your spiritual muscles don't get a chance to recover, which means they're going to be weaker with less stamina before that next spiritual workout. And knowing when to spiritually rest can be as easy as just following the energy. When you pay attention to the ebb and flow of your spiritual energy, you will know when it's time to rest and rejuvenate or to take inspired action. Inspired action comes from spirit. Busy work comes from ego. So if you're pushing yourself with this sense of hurry and rush, like you're running out of time and you just want to bypass that uncomfortable stage in your life, like maybe the dark night of the soul, then you will know that in that moment, your ego is in charge. Spirit is not rushed. Source never comes from the perspective of there's not enough time. Time is a man-made construct anyway. Remember, spiritual growth goes like this. Actually, sometimes like this, but seldom does it go like this. So take a deep breath, relax, take your foot off the gas for a second, and you don't want to burn out your spiritual engine. How to cure the ascension symptom of spiritual fatigue. Understand that you are not in a spiritual race to enlightenment. You're not trying to beat your friends, family, or your neighbor to enlightenment. Your spiritual journey is unique to you. No one can walk your spiritual path for you, so you might as well just take it at your own pace and enjoy the journey. When you enjoy the journey, your energy will dictate the destination. Ooh, what was that, Dave? I said when you enjoy the journey, your energy will dictate the destination. Can I get a witness? And what does enjoy the journey mean? It means don't be in your spiritual car saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? That is a very destination-focused mindset where your mind is off in some future destination. And what happens when our mind is off in some future scenario? Well, spiritual anxiety can creep in. But if we're enjoying the journey, that is a very present moment focused energy. And then your energy just dictates the destination from there. And don't forget to call on your spirit guides, like fam, when you're feeling that spiritual fatigue. Don't forget to lean on your team in the unseen. That's what they're there for. Your spirit guides may give you the guidance and inspiration to understand that you need to trust the process and everything is going to be okay. Or maybe they give you a sign to go out in nature and do some grounding. Or maybe they give you a sign to just simply rest. Or maybe your spirit guides give you a sign to, and this is a groundbreaking concept, to just have fun. Imagine that. That's why we're here, people. Life is supposed to be fun. It's just not that serious. So your spirit guides may have their own way of reminding you of this. So when you ask your spirit guides for help, make sure that you are centered in the present moment with a still mind so that you can actually receive their message. Now, question of the day. What is your cure for spiritual fatigue? Leave those spiritual remedies in the comments below, like fam. If you need a helping hand getting through your spiritual fatigue, we can work one-on-one through Zoom. Check the description below for that. If you have a question for me, add me over on Instagram _Lightways. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Light, love, and abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.